Chile, a land of extreme contrasts, where the driest desert in the world meets ancient glaciers. A country stretched like a ribbon between the imposing Andes Mountains and the vast Pacific Ocean. Its modern cities pulse in harmony with dormant volcanoes, while centuries-old vineyards sprawl across fertile valleys. The strength of earthquakes has shaped not only its geography, but also the resilient spirit of its people. From the mystical Atacama Desert to the icy towers of Patagonia, nature has carved landscapes that seem to belong to another planet. In this journey through Chile, we will uncover everything from the enigmatic Moai statues on Easter Island to the secrets held in its award-winning wineries. Beyond its famous postcards, we'll reveal hidden treasures like volcanic beaches, ghost towns in the mountains, and the most spectacular highway through the Andes. An adventure through a country where every region tells a unique story. Every flavor carries centuries of tradition. And nature still manages to surprise even the most seasoned travelers. Location. Chile is one of the most fascinating and peculiar countries in the world in terms of geography. Imagine a strip of land so long that, if laid across Europe, it would stretch from London to Moscow. With its impressive length of over 2,610 miles running from north to south, Chile is considered the longest country in the world in a straight line, according to 2024 data from the Chilean Military Geographic Institute. Situated on the western coast of South America, Chile boasts one of the planet's most unique geographies. The country is virtually embraced by the majestic Andes Mountains to the east, forming a natural border with Argentina and Bolivia, while the vast Pacific Ocean laps its entire western coastline. To the north, it borders Peru, home to one of the driest places on Earth, the Atacama Desert. What many don't know is that Chile's territory is not limited to the South American mainland. The country has sovereignty over the mysterious Easter Island, located in Polynesia, more than 2,299 miles from the Chilean mainland. This makes Chile one of the few South American countries with territory in Oceania. Speaking of territory, Chile is divided into 16 administrative regions, each with distinctive features that enrich the country's extraordinary diversity. Interestingly, these regions are numbered from north to south, except for the Santiago metropolitan region, which houses the nation's capital. This territorial organization was last updated in 2018 with the creation of the Ñuble and Los Rios regions. And if you think you're already impressed, brace yourself. Chile is a country of stunning geographical extremes. The highest point is Ojos del Salado, a volcano towering at 22,615 feet above sea level, making it the highest volcano in the world and the second highest mountain in the Western Hemisphere, second only to Argentina's Aconcagua. The lowest point is a depression in the Taitao Peninsula, which reaches approximately 26 feet below sea level. According to some sources, when it comes to rivers, Chile surprises again. Unlike other South American countries, its rivers are generally short and torrential, owing to the proximity of the Andes to the ocean. The most important river is the Loa, which spans 273.4 miles, making it the longest in the country and the only one capable of crossing the Atacama Desert, according to Chile's General Water Directorate. Chile's climate is another fascinating aspect. Due to its extraordinary north-south span, the country exhibits nearly every type of climate except tropical. In the north, there's the arid climate of the Atacama Desert, considered the driest desert in the world outside polar regions, where some areas can go decades without significant rainfall, and the annual average in certain regions is less than 0.039 inches. In the center, there's a pleasant Mediterranean climate, similar to southern Europe. In the south, the climate becomes oceanic, with abundant rainfall and cooler temperatures. In 2023, the Chilean Meteorological Service recorded over 157.5 inches of rain in some parts of the Chilean Patagonia. A surprising detail about Chilean geography is that the country claims territorial rights over part of Antarctica. The Chilean Antarctic Territory covers an area of approximately 482,628 square miles, though this claim is regulated by the 1959 Antarctic Treaty. To finish with a little-known fact, Chile is one of the most seismically active countries in the world, recording an average of 200 tremors per month, according to Chile's National Seismological Center. This is because the country lies within the Pacific Ring of Fire, a geologically active region that accounts for about 85% of the world's seismic activity. Major cities. When discussing Chile's major cities, three metropolises stand out: Santiago, the majestic capital, Valparaíso, the historic port city, and Concepción, the economic hub of the south. Each represents a different chapter in Chile's story and reflects diverse aspects of life in the country. Santiago, the cosmopolitan capital, is the nation's beating heart. With a metropolitan population of 6.8 million, according to Chile's National Statistics Institute, the city houses around 35% of the country's total population. Nestled in a valley surrounded by the towering Andes, Santiago is one of the few capitals in the world where you can ski in the mountains in the morning and, in less than 2 hours, enjoy the beaches of the Pacific. A little-known fact is that Santiago boasts one of the most extensive metro systems in South America, with about 87 miles of lines transporting over 2.5 million passengers daily, according to Metro de Santiago. The striking contrast between the modern and the historical defines the city, where glass skyscrapers share space with colonial buildings from the 18th century. Further down the Chilean coast lies Valparaíso, affectionately known as Valpo by locals. With a population of approximately 300,000, this port city is renowned for its unique, colorful architecture, built on 42 hills that cascade toward the Pacific Ocean. In 2003, Valparaíso's historic center was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, recognizing its extraordinary cultural and architectural significance. The system of elevators, funiculars, is one of Valparaíso's most iconic symbols. Built between 1883 and 1916, only 16 of the original 30 remain, and just a few are still operational today. These funiculars are considered national historical monuments, with examples like the Ascensor Concepción offering breathtaking views of the city and the harbor. Concepción, the third largest metropolitan area in Chile, with about 1 million residents, is known as the capital of the country's south. Founded in 1550, the city has had to be rebuilt multiple times due to earthquakes and tsunamis, the most recent being in 2010, when an 8.8 magnitude earthquake caused extensive damage to the region. Today, Concepción is a significant university and industrial hub, home to the Universidad de Concepción, one of the country's most prestigious institutions. A fascinating aspect of Concepción is its strong connection to Chilean rock music. Known as the capital of Chilean rock, the city has been the birthplace of numerous influential bands since the 1960s and continues to maintain a vibrant music scene. These three cities form an urban triangle that perfectly represents Chile's diversity. Santiago, with its cosmopolitan and economic dynamism, Valparaíso, with its rich history and bohemian culture, and Concepción showcasing the resilience and innovative spirit of the Chilean people. Together, they are home to approximately 42% of the country's total population, according to the latest national census. Natural and architectural wonders. From the driest desert in the world to the ancient glaciers of Patagonia, Chile is a country seemingly designed to take your breath away, a land where nature and architecture blend to create landscapes that seem out of this world. We begin our journey in the far north with the majestic Atacama Desert. This desert, considered the driest non-polar desert on Earth, is home to some of the most surreal landscapes on the planet. The Valle de la Luna, with its wind and salt-sculpted rock formations, offers a unique setting so extraordinary that NASA uses it to test equipment for Mars missions. In the early hours of the morning, the El Tatio geysers, located at 14,173 feet above sea level, provide a spectacular show with over 80 active thermal springs, forming the largest geothermal field in the southern hemisphere. Further north, the stunning Salar de Tara, one of the world's highest salt flats, at 14,107 feet above sea level, hosts flamingos dancing over saltwater lagoons, creating a surreal contrast with the surrounding rock formations. Lake Miscanti, a turquoise gem at 13,580 feet above sea level, reflects the clearest skies in the southern hemisphere, a key reason the region is home to some of the world's most important astronomical observatories. Heading south to central Chile, we find Santiago, the capital, where the modern Gran Torre Santiago stands out. At 984.25 feet tall, it is the tallest building in South America, as of this video, and offers spectacular panoramic views of the city and the Andes Mountains. Near the capital, the Chilean Central Valley hosts some of the world's most renowned vineyards, with vines stretching to the horizon, framed by snow-capped mountains. One of the country's most significant architectural treasures is the Museum of Memory and Human Rights in Santiago. This contemporary masterpiece is not just an impressive building, but also a vital center for Chile's historical memory. Also in the capital, the Baha'i Temple of South America stands out with its unique lotus flower design. Built in 2016, it is one of only 8 Baha'i temples in the world. The city of Sewell, known as the City of Stairs, is a fascinating example of adaptive architecture. Built on the steep slopes of the Andes to house copper mine workers, it is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, offering a unique glimpse into Chile's mining history. For winter sports enthusiasts, Valle Nevado and Corralco are true winter paradises. Valle Nevado, located just 28.58 miles from Santiago, is South America's largest ski resort, with over 1,977 acres of skiable terrain. In the lake region, the majestic Villarrica volcano towers over the city of Pucón, one of Chile's most versatile destinations. The area offers everything from volcanic beaches to the relaxing geometric hot springs, a complex of natural thermal pools nestled in a native forest. Lake Lanquihue, Chile's second largest lake, perfectly mirrors the snow-capped cone of Osorno volcano, creating one of the country's most photographed landscapes. Further south, the marble caves in General Carrera Lake are a unique natural phenomenon. Marble caverns sculpted by over 6,000 years of water erosion. The formations create a dance of light and reflections across the bluish marble. In Chilean Patagonia, Torres del Paine National Park is often considered the eighth wonder of the world. Its 3 granite towers, soaring over 9,186 feet high, are one of the country's most iconic symbols. The park also features the stunning Gray Glacier, a 3.73-mile-wide ice field that calves blue-hued icebergs into its namesake lake. Nearby, the Balmaceda and Serrano glaciers offer another incredible spectacle, accessible via boat tours from Puerto Natales, the gateway city to these Patagonian wonders. The mystical Chiloé Island, with its UNESCO-listed churches and colorful stilt houses, represents a perfect blend of traditional architecture and nature. Meanwhile, the remote Easter Island, 2,299 miles from the mainland, holds one of humanity's greatest mysteries: the enigmatic Moai statues, massive stone figures that have puzzled scientists and visitors for centuries. In the Elqui Valley, designated as the world's first international dark sky sanctuary, the night sky offers a celestial spectacle, so vivid it feels unreal. This region is also famous for producing Chile's national drink, pisco. Chile's relentless geography continues to amaze with extraordinary sights. Among the hairpin curves of the famous Los Caracoles Road, a masterpiece of engineering linking Chile and Argentina with 29 zigzag turns, is one of the world's most stunning routes. Viewed from above, it resembles a giant serpent coiled in the Andes Mountains. Near this engineering marvel, Ski Portillo stands out as one of South America's oldest ski resorts. Nestled next to the breathtaking Laguna del Inca, its sunlit slopes create a unique spectacle, while the lagoon reflects the surrounding mountains like a natural mirror at 9,449 feet above sea level. In the north of the country, Chuquicamata impresses not with its beauty, but with its sheer scale. The largest open-pit copper mine in the world is so immense, it could be compared to a natural canyon, yet it is entirely man-made. With a depth of over 3,281 feet, this giant represents the heart of Chilean mining, responsible for 10% of the world's copper production. Back to the coast, in Algarrobo, we find a surprising world record: the pool at San Alfonso del Mar, the largest artificial pool on the planet. Stretching an impressive 0.621 miles, and holding 250 million liters of crystal-clear filtered Pacific water, it replicates a private beach with turquoise waters amidst the Chilean coastline. Now, seamlessly blending into the landscape of the Milihu Valley, the Hotel Vic emerges as a masterpiece of architectural art. Its 22 uniquely designed suites and undulating titanium roof reflect sunlight like silver waves over the vineyards. The hotel is part of the Vic Winery, where the art of architecture fuses with the art of wine for a complete sensory experience. Finally, Bahia Inglesa, with its crystal-clear waters and white sands, proves that even in the desert, paradise-like beaches can be found. Its waters are surprisingly warm due to a specific ocean current, creating an oasis in the middle of the desert. Each of these wonders tells part of Chile's geological, cultural, and architectural story, forming an impressive mosaic of experiences that make this country one of the most diverse and spectacular destinations on the planet. History. Chile's history began long before the arrival of Europeans, with indigenous peoples such as the Mapuche, Aymara, and Diaguita inhabiting various regions of its territory. The Incas also expanded their empire into central Chile in the 15th century, but faced strong resistance from the Mapuche. In 1536, Diego de Almagro made the first Spanish expedition into Chilean territory, but it was Pedro de Valdivia who, in 1541, established the first permanent colony, founding Santiago. The colonial period was marked by constant conflicts with the Mapuche, who resisted colonization and maintained their independence in the south of the country until the 19th century. Chile's independence began on September 18, 1810, with the first national government junta, and was definitively achieved in 1818 after battles led by Bernardo O'Higgins, regarded as the father of the Chilean nation. In the 19th century, Chile expanded its territory through the War of the Pacific against Peru and Bolivia, annexing mineral-rich regions, including the Atacama Desert. This conflict permanently altered the country's geography. In 1970, Salvador Allende became the first democratically elected Marxist-socialist president in Latin America. On September 11, 1973, a military coup led by Augusto Pinochet ousted Allende. Pinochet's dictatorship, from 1973 to 1990, was marked by severe human rights violations, with over 3,000 killed and disappeared. Democratization began in 1990, after a 1988 plebiscite that denied Pinochet's continuation in power. Since then, Chile has been recognized for its democratic stability and economic growth. Population. Chile has a population of approximately 19.5 million as of 2023, according to the Chilean National Institute of Statistics, with a unique distribution. Around 40% of the population lives in the metropolitan region of Santiago, the capital. The average population density is 66.84 inhabitants per square mile, with significant contrasts between regions. While the Santiago metropolitan area has over 1,243 inhabitants per square mile, areas like Aysén in Patagonia have fewer than 2.59 inhabitants per square mile. The country's ethnic composition reveals a predominantly mestizo society, with significant European, mainly Spanish, and indigenous heritage. The Mapuche are the largest indigenous group, representing 9.1% of the total population, according to the latest national census. Spanish is the official language, with some indigenous languages recognized regionally, especially in Mapuche areas. Chilean Spanish is known for its unique characteristics and frequent use of local slang. Religiously, data from the last census show that 58% of Chileans identify as Catholic, 18% as evangelical, and a growing 24% as non-religious or agnostic, reflecting a trend of secularization in society. In terms of public safety, Chile maintains one of the lowest homicide rates in Latin America, recording 4.2 homicides per 100,000 inhabitants, positioning it among the safest countries on the continent. The current fertility rate is 1.6 children per woman, according to 2023 INE data, indicating an aging population trend common in socially advanced countries. Life expectancy reaches 80.2 years, one of the highest in Latin America. Another standout metric is Chile's high literacy rate, reaching 98.5% of the adult population, the result of decades of consistent investment in education. The country also boasts one of the highest Human Development Indexes, HDI, in Latin America. Government and economy. Imagine a country that has transformed into one of Latin America's most robust economies, with stable political institutions and an economic model that serves as an example for many developing nations. This is today's Chile, a presidential republic that has written a remarkable story of economic transformation. The current president of Chile is Gabriel Boric, who took office in March 2022, becoming the youngest president in the country's history at the age of 36. He governs under a political system where the president serves as both head of state and head of government, elected by popular vote for a 4-year term without immediate re-election. But it is in its economy that Chile truly stands out. In 2023, the country's gross domestic product, GDP, reached approximately $335 billion, according to the Central Bank of Chile, resulting in a per capita GDP of $17,093, one of the highest in Latin America. The composition of this GDP reveals a diversified economy, with 58% coming from the service sector, 32% from industry, and 10% from agriculture and mining. Special attention is given to copper, of which Chile is the world's largest producer. In the 2024 Economic Freedom Index by the Heritage Foundation, Chile ranks 21st globally, leading in Latin America. This index reflects a business-friendly environment with clear regulations and protection of private property. Chile's tax burden, representing 20.7% of GDP, is one of the lowest in South America. The country has adopted a more liberal economic model in recent decades, featuring less state intervention and lower taxes compared to other countries in the region. The cost of living in major Chilean cities is surprisingly reasonable. In Santiago, for instance, a middle-class family can live comfortably on about $2,800 per month, according to data from the National Statistics Institute, INE. In the labor market, Chile maintains an unemployment rate of 7.5% as of early 2024. Chile's economic model, based on free market principles and trade openness, has made the country one of the top destinations for foreign investment in the region. Chile holds free trade agreements with over 60 countries, including the United States, the European Union, and China, facilitating international trade and driving its economic development. Cuisine. Imagine a cuisine that blends influences from indigenous peoples with Spanish traditions and the rich bounty of the Pacific Ocean. Welcome to Chilean gastronomy, one of the most diverse in South America. Pastel de choclo is a true masterpiece that combines a seasoned ground meat base topped with a creamy paste of fresh corn. Its origins date back to the 18th century, when corn was considered a sacred ingredient by indigenous peoples. Chilean empanadas are larger and juicier than their Argentine counterparts, filled with pino, a mix of ground meat, onions, olives, boiled eggs, and raisins. During Independence Day celebrations, Chileans consume over 10 million of them in a single weekend. Cazuela is a comforting soup that tells a story with every ingredient. This nourishing broth includes chicken or beef, squash, corn, potatoes, and fresh herbs. Each region in Chile has its own version, adapted to local ingredients. On Chiloé Island, you'll find the spectacular curanto, where seafood, meats, and vegetables are cooked over hot stones and nalca leaves in a pit, a millennia-old technique that has survived for more than 6,000 years. The corilana, born in Valparaíso, is a mountain of fries topped with sliced beef, caramelized onions, and fried eggs. Caldillo de congrillo, a creamy fish stew, is so special it inspired a poem by Pablo Neruda. Sopaipillas, fried dough discs made with squash, are the perfect comfort food for rainy afternoons, while porotos granados celebrate summer with a creamy stew of fresh beans, corn, and squash. Pan amasado, rustic bread baked in wood-fired ovens, is a staple on every Chilean table. To accompany it, Chilean wines are true liquid treasures. The Maipo Valley produces some of the finest Cabernet Sauvignon in the world, with vineyards that survived the phylloxera plague of the 19th century, preserving unique, original European vines. Impressed by Chile's wonders? This is just the beginning of our journey around the world. Don't miss any of our upcoming adventures. Subscribe to our channel now and activate the notification bell. With every documentary, we bring a new, amazing destination straight to your screen. Share this video with your friends and let us know in the comments which aspect of Chile impressed you the most. And remember, at Real World Channel, we don't just show you the world, we bring it to you. See you on the next trip.